Disappointing second half to that game. First half was fine, 10-7 at half. Didn't move great in the first half, but played good defense against a really potent offense. We gave up one big play in the first half, which can't give up. Otherwise, it's you're even in better shape. One long pass, guy got behind us. And then second half, again, we played really good defense consistently, really since probably Cincinnati game. And just did not play good. Credit to OU's offense. They out-executed us. They out-physicaled us. They, in the run game, had 19 yards rushing at halftime. They had 170 in the second half on us. And they got chunk plays of pass, and we didn't tackle. I've come in here multiple weeks and talked about how good we've tackled on the back end, and it's like, why does he keep talking about how good you tackle on the back end? Because in college football, getting the ball to good players in space is what everybody does, and there's a lot of short, nothing-looking plays that I watch on tape every week that turn into big plays. And for us in the second half was disappointing because they had one of their quickest drives. They had a 2-play drive where they threw 2 5-yard passes and scored. And again, all the weeks that I raved about how good we tackled on the perimeter, and like I said, probably thinks, well, isn't it easy? It's not easy to tackle out there. And we missed a couple. They threw a 5-yard hitch for a 42-yard touchdown, a one-play score. And again, that's why points are scored the way they are in college. And there's a lot of short plays that go big. And we've done a good job until the second half Saturday. And again, credit to OU for making us miss and taking a short play and a long play. So defense got worn down. Second half, I thought our offense got going, played much better. I really felt like if we could get one stop, our offense could get us a lead, but we couldn't get the stop. It'd go from 10-3, and we couldn't get that stop. So I thought we moved the ball better offensively. Still didn't run it near as good as we like. We had some moments run it, but not consistent enough running, but we threw it around pretty good. So obviously, on all levels, extremely disappointed. And not good enough, and we got to get better. So this one's going to stick in our crawl for a while, probably till next September. And there's a lot of things we got to be better at. But the defense certainly didn't get it done, and that was the most disappointing thing because it was a game that was winnable, and I think our offense got going, and we've relied on our defense in that game. I think our offense could have pulled us through, and we didn't give them an opportunity.
How good did it feel to get that connection between Gabbert and Hippenheimer going? They had some nice plays. It looked like the timing is
Yes.
starting to get better where Brett just laid that one, especially that one right in the end zone right there.
Yeah, no doubt the timing between those two, and then just the timing in the passing game, period. There's just a lot of balls thrown in rhythm, on time, to guys when they were breaking open or making their cut. So it was, again, that's gotten better every week. We knew that part would get better as we're getting more in the flow. So, that was good, and that was a huge positive. And you could just you started to see it some the first couple weeks, but that obviously the rhythm was really good Saturday or Tuesday night.
That being said, what's the status of Gabbert?
Good news, just an ankle, and we'll see. He's doing okay. So he's got an ankle sprain, but we're hopeful he'll be fine. So I don't know how much he'll do. We got an extra day, so it worked out better. I thought first it was his knee. When I got there, I said it was his ankle, and then so he was in a boot like they put everybody in boots now, but he was walking pretty good yesterday. So we'll see as the week progresses.
Coach, what can you tell us about Northern? Obviously, you watched them last night.
I think their mindset is pretty much like I was frustrated of what could have been coming off a great season. They got their quarterback back, and then the same thing happens. Their quarterback gets hurt. Lombardi gets hurt, who was their quarterback, led in the conference championship a year ago. And they've had, like us, they've had a bunch of other injuries too, not just the quarterbacks. And so they've played a bunch of different quarterbacks. They play multiple quarterbacks in the game. They kind of run, when the Lynch kid plays, they run a very run-heavy oriented offense where a lot of it's not Wildcat, but it looks like Wildcat a lot of times, just the plays they run. They run a fair amount of Wildcat too, different weeks. which we'll have to be prepared for. And then they've played a couple other young kids that are more like Lombardi, more drop back type guys. So they kind of have a drop back offense, and then they kind of have a quarterback run offense. So that'll be challenged. They're really good on defense. They run and hit. They really aggressive. They're athletic, twitchy guys. They play really hard. So they're similar to what we saw last week defensively with OU. Athletic guys run around, fly around, play aggressive. So, but they're good on D. So, but they've, I'm sure they're just frustrated as we are with what they thought the season was going to look like and what the season did. And again, I'm sure they're not. I know their coach. He ain't making no excuses either, and he's disappointed, but he's not happy with the outcomes. And they fought hard last night to find a way to get a win, and now they got us at home and on Wednesday, and it's going to be pretty damn cold, and so it'll be. They like to run it regardless. Even when they had their starter, they ran the ball. They're a run-heavy team, but run play action, more down the field stuff with Lombardi. So they're going to run it regardless, but they've run it even more and more based on their quarterback situation.
I mean, taking away the second half of OU with how well they ran the ball, it's really Wednesday will come down to like a strength versus strength. They're running the football Miami's way to stopping the run. How big of a factor is that going to be in the decision or the determination of the game?
Yeah, no, we talk about every week. If you can defend the run and run the ball, you can have a great chance to win. And we got to defend the ball. We got to run the ball better than we've run it for sure. So that's Northern Illinois ran the ball the way to conference title last year. They right in the MAC championship game. They kept the ball away from Kent the whole game and just ran it down their throats, and they did that every week. So they're very good at running the ball. They have excellent backs, really good offensive line, 2 returning all-conference guys. They have big, strong tight ends, and got a head coach that was an NFL tailback. And they know how to run the ball, and they're going to run the ball. And so it's not that they don't throw good, but that's his, your NFL tailback, that's your, a little bit about running the football. And, he's put his mark on as soon as he got there. They're going to be a running team. They've been as good as anybody in this league running the ball since he's been there.
Everybody else good? Oh, good, Mike.
Being down on the sideline, I got a kind of a extra sense of how big some of Ohio's linemen were. That said, as you mentioned the other night after the game, did pretty well in defending them the first half. Second half, different story there. Was there anything that they did different, or was it just they got going and wore things down? I know we're pretty late in the season.
Yeah, they wore us down a little bit, but sometimes they blocked us. There's some missed tackles that, they hit the big run late that chewed up 60-some yards, but obviously they ran the ball effectively the whole second half, but again, it still comes down to the big pass plays. I mean, even though they ran the ball better in the second half, the drives come down to the big pass plays for sure, and us on defense not getting off field on third down. You force a team to 18 third and fourth downs, you're playing pretty solid defense. But they convert 10 of them, you're not playing pretty solid defense on third down, So first drive, second half, we had 3 opportunities to get off the field. Even the touchdown, we should have been off the field, and we didn't fit up the passes right, or we didn't get home to the quarterback, or whatever it was. At times our pressure is good. At times we didn't get enough pressure. He stood back there too long. At times our coverage was good, but obviously that was frustrating. Even the second half when we didn't play near as well defensively, if we can execute better on third down, we had them third and 10, and they hit a go ball down the field, and the coverage was really good, and just the finish wasn't. At one point we almost had the guy knocked out of bounds. But they wore us down some, and they blocked us up some, and did some nice things, and credit to them. But the third down in the big plays, throwing a hitch for 48 yards or 42 yards, that can't happen.
But I imagine their ability to run the ball just helped the passing game much.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, you get your running game going, and them making some big plays in the pass game helped the running game too, because it affects what you call, and you get in a little more pass-oriented coverage and a little lighter box because they're making plays one-on-one in the perimeter, which we've done a great job not allowing people to do, and we didn't do as good a job on Tuesday.
You got Northern Illinois coming up this week. Any thoughts on what kind of challenges they present?
Yeah, well, obviously they run the heck out of the ball. They're big physical team. They obviously pride themselves on being physical, running the ball, being physical with their O-line, and it's gonna be a huge challenge just for our defense. It's gonna be cold down there. It's kind of going back close to home for me, so it's gonna be fun for me. But yeah, I think they're just a big physical team, and they're gonna try to run the ball. I mean, they've had quarterback situations just like we have this year, so kind of the same situation. But they still got very capable dudes back there, and they got a whole ton of running backs. I mean, their O-line, they got dudes that they got a couple Wisconsin guys. One of them played in the same conference as me in high school, wrestled against him. So, yeah, it'll be a huge challenge for our defense.
Austin, is this a game that maybe for you, because they want to run it so much, that you get a little bit more fired up because you're just going to you're right in the thick of that for every play?
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, no matter who we play, I'm super excited for it. But I think just the fact that, they're the closest MAC team to my home, that's one of the big things for me too. And then obviously they do run the heck out of the ball, so it'll be fun for me. I mean, I enjoy taking double teams. I enjoy that kind of stuff. So it's going to be really fun for me in trenches. I think it's going to be fun for all of us.
Did they recruit you?
Yeah, I had an offer from Northern Illinois. Yeah, they did recruit me. It was a different coaching staff at the time, though.
Pretty far into the MAC schedule. Just out of curiosity, how much of a variety have you seen from the run games and pass games? I mean, from week to week across a schedule like this, is it difficult? There's so much variety, or what?
I feel like for our defense, it's a little different. I mean, we kind of hold ourselves in stopping the run as a defense, and with that and with the success that we've kind of had at stopping the run this year at times, besides obviously last week, but we're seeing a ton of different gadget runs. I mean, people are pulling, just like Northern Illinois is going to do. They do it on a weekly basis, but we're seeing these counters where people are pulling 3 dudes. We're seeing a lot of same side. So it has been different every week, but I think teams are starting to. OU's kind of the first team that really gave it to us in the run game, so we'll see going forward.
Basically playing for a bowl berth now, possible bowl berth. How would you describe the mood of the team at this point?
I mean, obviously, we kind of have the 24-hour rule, as you know. Everybody was extremely disappointed, extremely, not in the best of moods after the game. I mean, given the circumstances, obviously, but I mean, we're a team that I think the number one thing that we have as this team right now is the togetherness that we have together in this locker room. And I mean, as a bunch of guys that we are, I mean, we're staying together. The morale of the team is super high. I mean, we're trying to send these dudes off the right way. McWood, Jaywalk, all the guys that have been here since I was here, way before me even, that got this thing rolling for me and made it easy when I got here. So I know a ton of us just want to send these guys off the right way with the bowl game. And I mean, that's what we're playing for now. And like I said, the morale and the team is super high. We're staying together. Nothing's going to change for us. We're just going to keep preparing harder. Our preparation's been great. Just the outcome hasn't been the way we wanted it to be. Yeah.
Austin, you talked about the team, the mood, and how close you all still are. It would be really easy for this team to just be like, hey, it's not going great. What makes this team, why is this team been able to stick together?
I think it's just the culture that has been built here from Coach Martin for the past however many years. I think it's 9 years. I mean, when I got here, it was like that already. It was set in place. I mean, obviously, Kimpler and those guys, McWood, all those guys down the road, set that in place to make it easy for people like me, Brett, Sally, all of us. When we got here, the culture was already built. When you're in the locker room, there ain't no talking about nothing. If some guy's out of line, people are going to get him in check, kind of that kind of thing. And then I think the offseason kind of helps with it too, is that, when you get here, a bunch of it, we're all together. We're all really good friends. Our best friends are all on the team with each other, and we're hanging out, and we're pushing each other every day. And I think that really plays into the factor of the togetherness that we have.
We're pretty deep into the season, and last week was against OU was the first time that a team got into the second half and was able to really kind of push people around a little bit and everything. Is there any feeling once you get to this part of the year of, getting tired and it becoming even more of a grind, something that you have to fight through?
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing that every team faces, every player faces. Nobody feels good at this point in the year. Everybody's body is hurt. It kind of comes down to that mental, that everything that you work for in the offseason is at this point of the year. I mean, the best football you play, for me, I feel like I play is deeper in the season when things get harder. And I think that's just part of our team culture is, when things get harder, we want to play better. And, that's kind of why it was disappointing on Tuesday, is because we feel like when the game gets harder, we get better. But, I think just moving forward, the team, just the culture that we have, the togetherness that we have is going to really help everything with that.